Sukuna completely unleashed and ready to go and, I guess, fight Jogo at this point. And then we also got Megami squaring up with his dad here that he doesn't know is his dad, who might not even be able to speak to tell him he's his dad, but also might just not want to tell him, or also probably wouldn't know himself. So I don't, I don't know. We got a few things that got set up throughout the last one that possibly will be touched on in this one. The Jogo one's definitely going to happen here. Like that and Sukuna will 1,000,000% occur this episode. Whether the other stuff happens or whether that stuff's going to take this entire episode and then we have to push that off until like 17, I don't actually know. But we'll end up seeing. I'm positive we'll get the Sukuna and the Jogo focus here at least. I don't know how like in depth they're gonna go though. If they're gonna like really need the entire episode, like the Yuji fight that we had a couple episodes ago, or if we're gonna only be able to kind of just, or if we're gonna be able to do this like pretty easily, because maybe there'd just be like such an overwhelming force. But maybe also Sukuna might just entertain him and actually have some fun. So we don't we don't actually have any idea. If you liked all that, like and subscribe to me, a lot to me, feel free to run for the discussion. Let me comments of this particular series. This is a Toho show. It will be blocked at some point because they do not like people reacting to their stuff. If you want to still watch the reaction, there'll be a link in the description or in the comments for you to watch it. I'm uploading this a couple weeks late, so it might just get blocked instantly when I try and upload it. So if that is the case, I'm just going to mute it, and it's going to be muted throughout the entire video. But if you want to watch with audio, you can go and click on the link that will be in the comments or the description. If not, you can just watch it in the YouTube video as usual. Let's get going, though, with episode 16. What did you know? We all did. Okay, we are gonna get those too. Perfected for. I don't think that's gonna help. So at the exact same time, all the bunnies know. Create the big bunny. I like how they're just like, let's not do any detail on the bunnies and just outline them. That it works. The bunny's trying to throw hands too. Oh my god. But he just folded. I wonder who's EDing this. Because it's largely different from every episode already. With the style. Bro's not breaking a sweat. I forgot they were here. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, but we wouldn't have to worry about that if Gojo was here. What a guy. Wow. Oh, alright. Alright, I take back my what a guy. I respect that, dude. Panda's so cute. It'd be great, dude. Yeah, make sure you're looking at every corner. I didn't think anybody was gonna approach. Let's just talk for a while everybody else fights. What a cute bonding moment these two are having. Was working his ass off. Let's just go to the roof and he'll magically jump up there, right? It's a fucking stressful moment, dude. Good old days. So there are advantage because they think they'll be able to reverse it, but I don't think that'll happen. Ah, again with the water. Dude, he is so unbothered. Okay, never mind. I thought that they were gonna try and do some shit like that. Instead, he's just gonna try and defeat him as quick as he can, but he might hurt himself on the process. Well, he got one shot. Oh no, he stepped on a rabbit. Drop him. Well, that's good. Now you both got each other, kinda. He's so quick. You're having a realization? Oh. Hmm. But that's how he recognizes it here, because of that. I'm shocked it came to him, honestly. Actually, no, I feel like that would be the only thing that would make sense. Hmm. That lets him have it. But pleased as a result. Wow. Oh, what the fuck? And he just immediately. Hmm. Oh. You turn your back, let your guard down. Oh, this fucker again. The strategy meeting in the past. Hmm. We will not be fighting at the meeting. Like, cares greatly for all of you, and fighting would not help. Yeah. But you take the own risk on yourself if you, whatever side you choose here. Mm. But it won't be here. I'm not even involved. I respect him so much for just stalling. Now, who's behind those two? Uh oh. What does that mean? The other fight's going down. Just similar to how Toji had like so much fun, it seemed like in the fight last time. It's all that's gonna happen here. Bro's just gonna be overjoyed with a. I love the temperature gauge there too. Like -6. Oh. Well, he's at 15, so like, he was already too weak. Never expected this. Look at him just stand. He does not be phased. No matter what you try, brother. Oh my god. It does. He's just a different breed, bro. Oh, that's really fun. Mm. Oh, just create a hole through the fucking building so I can see the moon. Hmm. Come on, buddy. Just one hit. Ain't nobody else fighting. Oh my god. As he uses it to skate too. There you go. There you go. No. Bro. That is fucked. The problem is you're gonna die if you don't move. You won't. They will. Is he gonna be able to take it over? Uh-oh. Oh. Well, I hope you had fucking fun with that. Except they did. And you're just used up fucking everything. Because yours is fucking 80 times stronger. Yeah. I couldn't be him. I mean, you're gonna try. At least entertain me. What the fuck was that translation? I guess he's capable of a lot more than that. Mmm. I respect that. You just said, fuck it, bro. Prepare. Yeah, yours versus mine. You got a bad matchup, dude. Poor Jogo's had bad matchups always. This guy's never had a fear one. No. I love the aspect ratio change here too. You join your friends, wow, in a flash. Not even too. Mm. He's the one I would fear most out of all of you personally. Except you're not. Oh, I can make that happen. Mm. Yeah. You want to be you, but in theirs. Yep. Just Relax, live freely. Mm. And that's exactly what he has. I appreciate that, but you should be proud of yourself, brother. Yeah, you're pretty strong, yeah. Thank you. The man I admire. Hmm. Rest easy, brother. The fireman is on fire as he burns. Hmm. Oh, this felt like the embodiment of like what happens within characters if they just say, ah, screw everybody else, let's just rampage, like let's just go through things and destroy things and not care about like, relations with each other or titles or whatever. Let's just fuck things up. That's basically, I think, also what Sakura was trying to get at when he was trying to tell Jogo, like, dude, you think about this stuff too much. He's like, dude, just fucking just go through everyone, just cause havoc when it comes to everybody. And I think that's fucking funny. And it works really well. And that's essentially what they do. I mean, in the first half with Toji, it's basically all just instinct, right? It's like no thought in the brain, let's just fucking go until he has that second of thought right at the end, which causes the fight to ultimately end at some point. And then in the other fight later on, it's literally just Sukuna just fucking enjoying himself, and he's that's literally what he does. While Jogo goes on his own destructive rampage in some sort of way too, he essentially still also limits himself at the end of the day, and he's not able to, over time, I guess, be able to really progress himself and become as strong as he possibly could have because of that limitation that he essentially probably put on himself. Whereas if he kind of exerted this sort of energy the entire time of his entire lifespan here, he might have grown to be somebody who's like unbelievably strong. And I think that's just, I don't know, it's a funny thought, I think, to really think about. It's fun how they're like giving us constant like multiple, like you get one episode where it's like holy fuck, like everything that's happening, and then they're like, here we need like two or three to calm down before we climax again, and then they just like, it seems like the constant theme of that happening, which makes me wonder like the plans going forward for future episodes, if we're gonna have like every like two or three until we hit the end of the season. So maybe like two more like really climax episodes, or like three more or something, like being able to sprinkle or fit in there. I think definitely. Well, which one am I on? I'm on 16. So three or four maybe, actually, they might be able to get in. It depends on how much is still to be done, and there's plenty of people like Geto and Mahito and all the others that we haven't really got into actually fighting. So we have to probably use some of that in a couple of those episodes, I'd assume, as well. Easily of this arc, within top two of like animated episodes at least, between this and then the other fight with Yuji. I gotta be honest, I can't recall like the fighting that occurred within the first couple episodes, not this arc but the other one at the beginning of the season, so I wouldn't be able to put it on a scale in comparison with those other ones, but definitely I would say top two in that regard for this one a lot. I don't know if personally I'd have to rewatch it, and I will when I do my editing and stuff, but I don't know if I personally enjoyed it as much, I would say, as the Yuji fight ended up being. I think, and that's because the Yuji fight was able to not have to utilize such a large environment, so it didn't need to alter the style in which it was animated a little bit, which they had to here, which I usually, and even here I don't have a problem at all with kind of going lower detail in a way to be able to fit in so much more movement and so much more just things kind of happening, right? Because it's so hard for them to actually properly like get in and detail fucking everything that happens, and it makes things kind of go a little bit more smooth, right? And especially if you smooth out the environments and then you kind of just use the main characters and maybe don't provide as much detail but a little bit more onto them into like the center of the frame and whatever is the focus here, it usually comes out pretty well. I don't know like all terminologies and stuff. I'm just going off of other things that I've kind of seen before and kind of utilize similar techniques in a way that typically work out. The only criticism I would have regarding it for the entirety of this is just that it doesn't fit the style wise within all the other episodes. Like it's very like apparent, it feels very like it looks visually extremely different than every episode that we've kind of had so far, which ultimately I would say just has to do with probably who was on this episode directing and just also the chaos that actually goes on throughout the entirety of the episode, causing them to have to change what exactly it is that they present. But it just, the way that it like sits within it, it just is a little bit different, so it comes off feeling a little bit weird. It's like that one episode of Heavenly Delusions, for anybody who's seen it, that just like it's very different. It's very apparent somebody else entirely has like worked on it, and you could just like tell. And even though I like that, and yeah, and I also like this here, it's just it feels different, so you can kind of pick it out, and it just doesn't, I guess, sit as natural within the overall like grand scale of things, which makes it a little bit, I guess, just jarring in the way that it was kind of presented, because it is so different at the end of the day. But there's no overall like anger or criticism there, at least negatively. I'm trying to present it. We open up with the Toji and Megami fight, which I really didn't fully expect us to even get this episode, but I think is pretty cool. I love the use of the different animals and like rabbits and stuff through him using his different techniques, and it helps him later as well when he's trying to like get caught and knocked off buildings and stuff. Like it's pretty cool, which I really love. And I love how we finally get to introduce these two who have not been in or used at all throughout the entirety of this, and figuring out that it actually has a valid reason for why they've been sidelined the whole time, and it's because Buddy does not want to die and he doesn't want to get involved in the fighting, so he's stalling as hard as he can so he can't. And it works perfectly that they weren't introduced the entire time as a result. I actually think that's fucking hilarious. And I think Panda's like the cutest for everything that he's trying to do. I know he just like sneaks around, he's trying to look into everything. We end up meeting these two who end up being people who also, I guess, formerly worked under Ghetto, because no longer are they technically, because of it not being actually him, but also having their own vision on how things should kind of go in this situation. And then we flash back into this fight a lot more as well. We figure out that Megami has a overall tactic and plan for what he's attempting to do here, which is be able to utilize everything to his advantage as quick as he can here and get the fuck out of here, and having people around that'll be able to kind of heal him at the end of the day and help him, so he doesn't fucking die, can allow him to kind of do that and go as hard as he fucking has to in this moment, as he realizes he's kind of backed up against the wall, so he actually has to. While Megami basically runs for his fucking life the entirety of this time, we get basically backed into this corner here, where at the exact last moment here, Toji has a little bit of a flashback and thinks back onto things a little bit regarding his, I guess, his life or his memory within Megami, what it is exactly his plans were for him and how exactly things were going to go about him being sold and the money that he was going to make or whatever, right? And utilize him for that, for the Zenin family. So when he actually has to ask him what exactly his name is, he's pretty proud to see that he actually doesn't go by Zenin, but instead goes by Fushiguro, because of course that's kind of the thing that he wants to hear. So he kind of gets to be at ease a little bit and be at peace. It feels like he kind of is happy about, I guess, the decisions that he probably made, understanding at the end of the day he was still like an awful dad, but probably be content with the position that he was able to put him in, and realize that he kind of didn't like lose himself in the process, and kind of just ends it then and there, which is really, really cool. It makes me wonder if he's ever going to be able to come back. If he was able to do this once, like I'm assuming maybe not, because that lady's dead, right? So being able to have somebody else who has like a similar ability to do this would have to be somebody that they find, and then he could at some point, but I'm assuming that would probably be it for him. But who actually knows? I think it would just be a funny gag like in the series to have him constantly like reoccurring just to fucking cause havoc for a short amount of time and then just get killed off again, which would actually be kind of great. But immediately Megami gets attacked by this fucking person again, who's been causing issues just at the worst times. all the episodes, which is funny to kind of to see. We get the backstory a little bit on this meeting and how things ended up going and how everybody ended up splitting up along their ways, which ultimately doesn't actually matter because they all sense the power of Sukuna and Jogo end up fighting. So they kind of come to a standstill for the moment being. And that's where the real spectacle of everything kind of begins here. And it's kind of all, I mean, there's not a lot that I want to talk about. I don't know enough about certain things with animation. I'm not trying to break everything down and go through it, but it's pretty fun to be able to see, especially Sukuna just having so much fun and enjoying himself while we get to see like the grand display that Jogo is kind of putting himself on here, which I think is great. We create the massive meteor in the sky, which is a fucking sight to see. And ultimately at this moment when things seem like they're going to go good and we start slicing through people and trying to run away and do our thing, Sukuna's like, no, nobody's allowed to move or I'm going to fucking I'm gonna kill everybody, which is great. Ultimately having this thing blow up and right before he sends him and ends him, figuring out that he has a secret ability or something that he didn't believe that was at some point, but apparently is a secret to everybody. This is such a cool frame. Like the entire thing from this moment when they decide to aspect ratio change us and be able to like do this, like the quality is fucking crazy cool. Immediately sends him to the fucking void to see his boys, which I really love. And then also I think this is just such a cool conversation of him kind of talking about him in the way that he's kind of always calculated things and always done things, but at the end of the day he probably shouldn't go along with that. But I do really like how Sukuna tells him to like be proud of himself and that he is very strong, complete opposite of what exactly happened in the conversation and the fight that he ended up having with Gojo at the beginning of the series, right, calling him weak, which is a really sweet moment, and you get to see a little bit of humanity a little bit with him and him until he ends up noticing, or not noticing, but until we end up getting snapped out of it and end up seeing that Buddy's just absolutely burning. We meet this person who has a connection to Sukuna and he actually recognizes her, which is really cool. I got nothing on that. I actually have no idea. I don't remember really being introduced to you outside of... Actually, I don't remember being introduced, so that doesn't actually help. But he seemed very fucking happy with it as a result. And then we end up seeing Megumi, after he got completely destroyed, and then the person who actually destroyed him being in absolute fear as we have this big giant thing kind of terrorizing us behind us. What it is or who it is or what, I have absolutely no fucking idea, and I have no things that I'm even going to begin to speculate on, and we're just going to kind of jump forward and see what ends up happening. That's going to be all from me. Overall animation spectacle, that's kind of where we ended up going for, and we have a little bit of touching moments, I guess, at the back end of each of the fights between the two members, but nothing really that I kind of feel like I really want to grasp onto or talk about too much regarding everything else. I'm going to watch the next one, maybe, I don't know, I'll think about it. If you guys like it all, like and subscribe to me lots of me. Feel free to check out that video, the channel, leave any comments about this particular series. I'm gonna try and get episode 17 done soon, and then hopefully be able to start catching up. You guys have a good one. Peace.